Okay, so now we are going to input our data into our Excel spreadsheet. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to kind of flip our chart a little. Your chart on this spreadsheet will not look exactly like the one on your worksheet, but it's going to have all the same data. So what I'd like you to do is in cell B1, you're going to write silence. In cell C1, you're going to write classical. And in cell D1, you are going to write YouTube. Okay. Now, since these are kind of titles in my information, I'm going to select it. And to select it, you just hold down your mouse, click on one cell, and hold it down and drag your mouse over the cells you want. And I want to bold this, so I'm going to do this. Okay. Or you can hit Control B on your keyboard, and it does that. Okay. In cell A2, you're going to write word per minute 1. And you can use your arrow key to go down. Word per minute 2, word per minute 3, word per minute 4. And we'll just do that for now. And the same thing, if I want to bold A2 to A5, I can just hold one cell and drag my mouse down, and you can hit Control B for that. You can change your color if you want. Just make sure it's readable. Okay. So now I'm going to look at my chart, and I'm going to say, what was my first word per minute when I was typing in silence? Well, I had 21. The second time I recorded it, it was 19. Then I had 21, 22, and I was able to actually take 6 samples of my words per minute. So I'm going to fill those in and go back to that. So my 5th one was 23, my 6th one was 20. Then I'm going to do the same thing for my classical. The first time I recorded my classical word per minute, it was 16, 24, the third time 18, the fourth time 22, fifth time 25, and I was not able to get classical for 6 times, so I'm going to write 0 there. And finally for YouTube, I was able to do 13, 28, 17, and I was only able to record my word per minute 3 times, so I'm just going to put 0 in for the rest. Now, your last cell that comes at the end of this, I would like you to write average word per minute. Okay? And with these cells and these rows, you can actually stretch them apart. What you have to do is you hover right over the line between the 2 cells up at the top. And you can just stretch them out so we can see all the letters. So now I want to find the average amount of, I want to find my average word per minute while listening to silence. So I could do it 2 ways. I could open up use a pen and paper and figure that out, which means I would have to add 21 plus 19 and so on, and then divide it by the number of instances, or I can command this cell to tell me the average. So all I do is I could do 2 things. I can right click, hit, well, actually I don't want to do that. Click on the cell, and this is our formula bar right here. Okay? A formula, again, it's a command. It's a mathematical command. So we're going to tell this cell, I want you to find the average of all of these word per minute. What's my average word per minute when I'm working in silence? So I'm going to insert a function, which is a formula, and I don't want to find the sum, I want to find the average. So I'm going to click average. And let's see, this is going to tell us, what this is saying is B2 to B3 and B7. So what does that mean? Well, B2 is here, it's 21. And B7 is here, so that's correct. So I'm actually not going to drag it. Just make sure that it says it has B2 to B7 or whatever row you're trying to figure out. And then I can hit OK. And so this number 21 is the average amount. So I want you guys to see that that's what it did. So the average would be 21 plus 19 plus 21 plus 22 plus 23 plus 20 equals 126. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So then I would divide it by 6, and that would equal 21. And that's why it gave us this number. When you click on it, you can see what the function is up here, what the formula is. So I'm going to do the same thing for this classical. I'm going to click Insert Function, the average. I'm going to click OK. And Microsoft Excel is really smart. It says, hey, you want to know the average of the numbers in cell C2 through C7. That's correct, so I'm going to hit OK. My average is 17.5. I'm going to do the same thing for YouTube. I'm just going to click where I want to command, which cell I want to tell me the average. I'm going to click that. D2 to D7, that's correct. 9.66667. Okay. So by now your Microsoft Word document has your name over here, and hopefully you used your indentations to help you get that. And back on the left side you have written your hypothesis, so I could say, I think that listening to classical music makes me type faster and better. That can be it. Now, so we're going to insert a chart into our Microsoft Word document. So first we'll go back to Excel. The only things I want you to tell me in your chart is the average word per minute while you were listening to silence, while you were listening to classical music, or while you were watching YouTube. So that's all I want. I do not want all these other numbers. What am I going to do? I'm going to click in the silence cell, and I'm going to select B1 through D1. Now I want to select all this right here, but how am I going to do that? If I just click it, then it deletes that. I want to select here, and I'm going to hold down the control button. Okay? The control button on my keyboard. It's at the bottom left. And while holding that down, I'm also going to select average word per minute and the average numbers. And from here, I'm going to click Insert. I want a bar chart. And you guys can pick which one you want, but start off with something simple. That one doesn't quite work for us. Let's go to changing this. What if we just do this first one?